Hi guys, it's Jess from LJ Hooker Sunday. I'm here with Terry Archer from the Home Loan Specialist today. Hello Terry.
How are you, Jess?
I'm good, thank you. Terry's going to run us through frequently asked questions that I'm getting and also some other people have asked as well. So first off, Terry, tell us a little bit about what you do. I'm sure people already know you though.
Well, as a finance broker, I basically work with my customers to find them the best fit for where they will find a home loan, investment loan, or even a car loan. So working with them in their personal circumstances to fit the best lender to their needs.
Yeah, sure. All right, so we were talking a little bit before, and one of the questions that I do have for you is, what's the difference with the banks for 4802 and 4800?
In general, most banks have postcode restrictions of some sort. 4802 does have a lot more lending capabilities than 4800. That also comes into the size of the properties as well. Some lenders won't lend over 2 hectares, so then you get a 2.2 hectare block and suddenly we lose half a dozen lenders.
And same with the other way, on the other side of the scale, it's too small.
Absolutely, you know, we've got units in the Early Beach and Jubilee Pocket that are under that 40 square metre mark, or they're dual key, and a lot of lenders don't like if you've got 2 front doors. So.
Okay, next thing a lot of people ask is, or I experience a lot of people that come in through properties that they haven't actually spoken to a broker. And then also, double question, the advantage of coming to a broker as opposed to their own bank.
Okay, so the first thing is, we've just discussed different banks with different criteria. And as you or your client sits there, how do they know what the details of that bank's criteria are? What we do is we send out an initial email that captures your basic information, who you are, where you work, what you earn, what you own and what you own.
Yeah.
Based on that, we can guide you as to which lenders will be accepting you with a particular property in a particular location. So before you go out and start knocking on real estate agent doors, you've got an idea of where you fit. So the advantage that we would obviously bring to the table, rather than, you know, in our town you can go and knock on 4 doors and you've just about exhausted your home loan lending capabilities. But we have over 30 lenders. Now some of them don't like postcode 4802, let alone 4800, or heaven forbid 4805. We can obviously offer you a far greater range of lenders with 30 plus lenders on our panel.
Yeah. So there is advantages if people, you know, would like to stick with their bank. Sometimes, if you don't present it in the right way, they'll just shut the door straight away instead of being able to work something to be able to fit. And
absolutely. And look, my principal outcome is to get you the best fit for you. If you're an existing customer of a bank and we can get an acceptable offer that suits your criteria, there is no reason not to stick with your bank. If there's a decided competitive advantage to go elsewhere, well, why leave $10,000 or $20,000 over the next 30 years on the table for them to have?
Yeah, that's right. General time for loan processing, and is there any banks that are slower than others? Or
we are now recommending nothing less than 21 days for finance. A lot of that is now the added onus on us to verify the client's information. Some banks are asking for 3 months or 6 months worth of personal transaction accounts so that they can see the day-to-day spending criteria or the spending habits of those people, is identifying what people's real living expenses are. And, you know, we pick up things. You know, I had a client a couple of months ago that said they spent $70 a month on entertainment. And as soon as we looked at the bank statement, there were ATM withdrawals at a local licensed premise 3 times a week, which were a little more than $70. So, you know, the banks are on to, and they're being forced to look at these things. So there's realistically, before we can even lodge a loan, there's a week's work in our office to get that ready for application. I've signed a contract, we're ready to go. 3 weeks is an absolute minimum.
Yep. Let's talk about our Royal Commission report. And how do you think that's going to affect lending in general?
Look, the Royal Commission's been having a knock-on effect with lending and the real estate industry for 12 months. Since they started interviewing, all of these criteria about cost of living expenses and making sure that people can afford the loans, because a lot of the complaints to the Royal Commission were from people that had borrowed too much money and then were looking for a way to get out of it. The findings of the Royal Commission came down with 74 recommendations. On the face of it, it could be catastrophic for the lending industry, which will see a dominance of the big four banks again. Whether that plays out, time will tell, and there'll be a lot of lobbying and a lot of noise from the industry between now and then.
And then also just one that we all are looking at is the interest rate at the RBA.
There's no upward pressure on interest rates that I can see, and I'd be surprised if we saw anything today, especially in light of the Royal Commission. The time is right to be borrowing. In the near future, maybe you should be looking at fixing your rates to protect yourself for the future.
Yeah. Okay, so another question I have for you is, what are the breakdowns of loans at the moment? Home occupiers or investors, first home buyers?
We're still seeing very few investment loans at the moment. We are seeing them, but they'd be less than 20% of the market at the moment. The split between first home owners and owner-occupied second buyer type is probably swung more to the second home buyer.
Going on from that, if someone was thinking about selling and maybe upgrading, what's the best thing for them? Some people still throw around the term of that bridging loan to be able to purchase another one, or what's the best step?
Bridging loans are still a thing. They are, and they're not the scary thing that you used to see in the 80s where you were paying 8 or 9% against a 6% or 5%. And some lenders will allow you to park your home loan for 3 or 6 months. It's worth sitting down and having a conversation about what the best way forward for you is.
And so when someone's looking at, they are looking at buying and perhaps they don't have the right amount of deposit, or they haven't been in their job enough, or they do need to rein in those entertainment expenses or whatnot, you can still guide them through that process and help set up a budget and that sort of thing for them, can't you?
Absolutely, and a lot of what we do, we might collect that client information from the client today, and we might say, look, you need to cross these bridges. You need to get yourself from maybe a $10,000 deposit to a $20,000 deposit. You need to get that cost of living down. So come back and see us in 6 months. And the phone's always on. If you've got a question, hey, I'm at this point, where can I get to with that? It's an easy conversation. So it is a long-term relationship, and it's a relationship that we'll look at in 2 years' time to make sure the home loan you got today is still the right one for you.
They're maybe not thinking about selling, not thinking about buying, but just wanting to refinance. Look,
refinancing is something that people should look at. Not every year. The cost of refinancing is usually $1,000 or more, and the savings are typically anywhere, if we can achieve a saving, are anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 a year. So it's usually an every 2 or 3 year. We call it a home loan health check. Yeah,
because even $50 a week, that makes a big difference. And if they put that off the principal of their loan rather than having to pay that in interest, that would take
absolutely. And we can model all of that. We can show you if you keep your repayments exactly the same and save that $50 a week. Yeah, it might knock 7 or 8 years off your home loan.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Terry. I hope that has answered a couple of questions. If you do have any other questions though, what's your phone number, Terry?
Give us a call on our office line, which is 4948 1288, or give me a call on my mobile, 0413 839 119.
Beautiful. Thank you so
Jess.
much.